Hey, what's the win resistance on those subscribing handles?
You know how long I've been waiting for this? Ooh, I'm about to make a name for myself here.
Hello everybody, and today we are finally taking a look at the Hot Toys Deadpool and Wolverine Deluxe version. Yellow and suit. Classic look Wolverine. Now, we're not here for boxes, we're not here for all that stuff. It's been out a while now. I finally got mine after all this time. But for the legal reasons and for the reasons of being, this is technically an unboxing, not just let's talk about figures and go, ooh, loads of figures, fun stuff. Let's have a look. Now, different layers of colours, different layers of texture and stuff. The ripping is 3D. Really nice touch, but we're not here for that. We are here for what's inside. And holy moly. And removing one of the many boxes of the big box, you get, God, the colours pop so well. I just can't wait to get him actually out of the box. Oh, I'm so glad I'm not an actual unboxing channel. I'm just log of figures, because good God, that's more difficult than you'd think. I tell you what, it's just an even impressive display just looking at it like this. So quick thoughts on the suit. The colours are popping really nicely, but as you can see there, this might be a point of contention for some people, but we are going to find out very soon. Now we have the fun job of getting off all the safety bits that stop scuffing his pretty little body. But while I do that, you're going to look at what he comes with, so you don't have to see me, you know, yank and pull stuff and accidentally break him, because I have a tendency to do so. But we don't want to do that to Mr. Indestructible over here. No, we don't. That was really weird.
So in this creepy assortment of figures, you get head sculpts, you get mouth plates, you get extra mouth plates, I suppose. You get very fleshy arms, you get less fleshy arms, you get wrist guards, you get claws, we all get claws. But you only get one pair of claws for all your hands. You don't get too many hands, you get some flayed out ones, but you get some closed ones, and I think that's pretty much it. It'll display, which isn't the same as the deluxe one for Deadpool, perfectly fine. But nobody cares about accessories. We want to see the full big boy. He's now deconstructed, we can reconstruct him, we can build him, we have the technology. So let's do the standard variation and move from there. And finally, after very little to mess with, other than getting after his protective stuff, he's out the box. And I have to say, this is one of the most breathtaking figures I've seen, just immediately out the box. Now, I am not used to deluxe figures with silicone stuff. This was all very new to me. And I have to say, it feels really freaking weird. Once I get used to it, it'll be fine. But the squeegee is very concerning. Very concerning, clearly.
I will say though, with some light D10s, it looks so natural. I see why people love the seamless body look. For the longest time, I've never been bothered about seeing articulation stuff, and I'm still not. But that level of seamlessness, where the actual muscle bends inward,
and how it still looks like flexed muscle,
which is impressive to say the least. But the folds and creases are natural, because that's silicone kind of bends similar to the way human skin does. So I know we're getting ahead of ourselves in terms of detail, but holy moly, the detail there it adds so much.
And if we even get closer into those arms, you can see the vein details. There's paint through the veins. The skin looks semi-translucent. There's age spots. There's freckling. It's scary how lifelike that is. I mean, I'm a legally blind fella, so me talking about how lifelike something looks is probably very not important. But the matching, especially on camera, the matching of the skin tones between the plastic and the silicone is actually really nice. In person, I would say the face is a teeny bit more tanned if we just go off some shoulder to face. But to be perfectly honest, that's how a human body's going to look anyway, because the sun's hitting the face more than the arms. But his arms are definitely on show. Now, with figures like silicone and with figures like this, there might be a teeny bit more fussing to make this look as natural as it does. But once you get it there, dude, it's literally, I'm going to say it a lot today, it's a guy in a suit. It's crazy. This is beautiful.
Now, although he didn't look like this, I love that for the standard release, Hot Toys gave us the shoulder pads with the full armor look. And the fact that they're so easily to remove, you can go cinematic, or you can just go for your ideal Wolverine. So if I was to display him with the full suit, I would probably have him like this. But if you wanted to go more cinematically correct, there we go. And I have to say that does look stunning. The little rips in the undersuit is beautiful. It shows off the shoulders, balls really nicely. And also you get to see more of that skin texture. But it still feels really weird to the touch. It's genuinely concerning. I have not too many issues about degradation over time. But to be perfectly honest, I love the full suit look with the full sleeves. So even if these do go on me, I have zero worries because you've got options. But that's the perks of the deluxe. And just all the way around, just... Ugh, it's so weird. I love it. It just... Ugh, it's a... They shrunk a human man.
Now, for the majority of the film, he has this head sculpt on. I wanted to go handheld for this one just so I could be a bit more free. But genuinely, this is beautiful. This head sculpt is honestly one of my favourites, and I can see why they've been reusing it for some of the other Wolverine variants. But this look is stunning. Also, he wears this as his main look for most of the film. He looks a little bit more ragged. I've left the clean armour on for now. We haven't went full Mountain Man destroyed suit yet. But I do like how that looks.
Now, this figure has rotating eyeballs. And it's beautiful. But I have a habit of not being able to do them properly. So most likely for this video, I'm not going to be messing with them too much. But do know that he does have eyeballs in there.
If you have watched this channel before,
I make their eyes look like my eyes, which are all over the place.
Let's be honest, I will attempt it, so if he goes a bit bong-eyed, that is my fault.
Now, there's no Wolverine without his claws, and I have to say, especially from a distance, these claws look stunning. Although they are plastic, so keep that in mind, the metallic paint on them is actually really nice. And even with... So this one is my cheapest light box. This is just the... My usual ones are these bad boys. So these ones can make them look stunning from different angles. But even some schneid ones, they hit glints off them really nicely. So for toy photography and just for like everyday posing, or just, you know, for vibes, it looks really good. But durability of them is in question. So like, let's say if this guy was to fall over right now, praying to the Lord that it doesn't, they'd probably snap on you and not even bend. But, and there is no extras, so if they do go, he is not rehealing them on you. Nothing's feeling like it's bunching up on itself, everything moves freely, so I quite like that.
I'm going to try and show a few poses on camera, or at least how he moves.
We're not going to do a full articulation segment, that comes later. But as you've just seen right there, it's actually really easy to just pop these off, get him into the pose you want, and then put it right back. Everything moves quite freely, but like in a way that it'll stay once it's been moved.
So it's quite cinematic, and it helps you move the figure.
I don't feel like I'm fighting the guy too much, but at the same time, those detents and those ratchets are so strong.
That's not like the Batman Begins Hot Toys suit where the rubber is like fighting the joint so much that in a few years he will not be able to move at all.
Because I love my Batman Begins figure. He's so cursed, and he also cannot move. This figure clearly does not have that problem.
I tell you what, from so many angles I'm seeing Hugh Jackman, but very specifically like the Deadpool in Wolverine Hugh Jackman, not just like, oh, we've taken a random head sculpt and just updated it a little bit. This feels very, very much like the character in the film, and God, I'm so impressed with it. It's not like the Hot Toys Superman,
where they just use the Man of Steel look or the Batman vs Superman look. They've actually updated to fit the time. So I had left his arm in the bent position for a long time now, and although I'm seeing no creases as of right now, you don't know how that's going to last over time. But even if it did, it's quite natural to human skin anyway. So I wouldn't worry about leaving him in the pose too often, unless you want to keep your figure 100% pristine. I have a tendency not to do that, so I'm not going to do that. So it's really easy to pop your head off. As you can see, it's on that clamp right there, and then once you do, you just go in there, and I can even do this with one hand. It's really easy to get in there. So if you want to actually move his eyeballs, you feel free to. I suck at doing so in a natural way, even if I've watched Justin's collection explain it so many times. But this head's really easy to pop on and off. so don't worry about that. The easiest way I find to get the neck joints out of the body is to twist his little neck and then pull as you twist. It doesn't scratch the skin too much and it pops out easier. But as you can see, when messing about with him, I have moved his eye accidentally, so we're gonna have to fix that a little bit because he's now looking like me, God bless him. Now once you pop the arms on, it's a really natural look, but I will say there's a bit more fussing with those to get on and off than there was the silicone arms, which I'm actually surprised about. And to keep in mind, with the extra fabric on these sections here, the articulation is going to be slightly worse, and it's going to fight you a teeny bit more. But I will say also, in box, you don't just get the standard shoulder pieces that come with. In the box, it comes with, although this doesn't technically make sense, it comes with the battle damaged versions on the arms, which give it a more used look, but also we can use those for the battle damage sections. We can put them on the silicone arms. You do this how you want. You can make it look how you want. You can make your ideal Wolverine, and I love that so much. And if you want the maximum yellow and blue experience, here he is with absolutely everything on, and I have to say I adore this look. I understand why we didn't see it in its entirety in the film like this. It's extremely yellow and blue, and it covers up Hugh Jackman to the point of why do you even need him? But his physicality would have made the suit look incredible. But the fact we can have this in figure form and just go crazy with it, I love. And we can go even crazier, which is, funnily enough, adding to the words, crazy! We can get as messy as we want with this. We could take parts off, we could have, I don't know, one ripped off, more battle damage, and you know, he's so battle damaged he's fell over and he's having a little nap. It's a bizarre look, and I don't know why you'd have it like this, but honestly, I don't hate it either. It kind of gives him more the natural silhouette, and it shows off more of the body. Very bizarre look, but I thought I would hate this a lot less. The only thing that's a bit weird with this is you can still see the rips and the wrinkles in the black undersuit, so it looks a bit bizarre there. But I still don't hate it. I would never display it like this, but I don't hate it. So I wasn't going to film this, but actually getting this off is kind of weird. These see-through plastic pegs need to like fit in his titties and his back, and it feels really weird taking it off, so honestly just take it slow, peel a teeny bit up, but like go straight up from the sides and the front. This is the easiest spot to get it from the back. It feels like you're snapping them in half, and just pray to the figure gods that he doesn't break. But at least you have a raggedy looking spare if it does, so it could be worse. And with a completely tarnished, battle damaged look, which we can take even further if we remove the shoulder pads, but to be perfectly honest, I like how they look on, you get some really unique looks with loads of parts just strung about like he's been ripped apart into shreds, and I kind of find that quite funny. But no, the figure itself, he is beautiful, and the extra editions of the deluxe edition, all the extra parts, all the extra pieces, it makes it so fun. And just adds so much to make this figure just almost like a definitive Wolverine figure. Even if you're not a fan of Deadpool and Wolverine, just this suit on its own just is stunning. And those silicone arms are scarily lifelike. I love it. Like the bullet hole textures, the scratches that have like weathering and pitting in them. And then put that next to the silicone skin arms. And then the metallic paint on the claws there. It's just... dude, and then the head's just, it's so cinematic, bro. I know I'm not the most articulate fella on the planet, but to say this is lifelike is horrendously understatement of the year. And the year's nearly over, so we've had a lot of understatements. Oh no. Now the design of the suit matches extremely similar to the actual creation of the suit, as in this is an extra overlay piece that goes on top of his one suit to either add to the traps to the back to give more of a superhero silhouette, but it's funny because they've actually done the exact same with the figure to make this interchangeable and also to break up between the plastic and the fabric. Now on camera it almost looks identical, the colour match between the two, but I will say in person there is a teeny bit of a difference. You can actually kind of see it right there, but maybe that's also just because this is a stronger texture versus this, which is more of a fabric. But overall, I would say this match is close enough to the point where it's not even like a genuine issue. It's more just
something to keep in mind.
And for how he looks for most of the film, basically ripped to shreds with his arms out. This is a beautiful look. Now, it's probably one of the most basic looks, but because of all the details and all the parts and all the pieces, it's stunning. Every single version you can make with Wolverine is so eye-catching, and also with the rotating eyeballs, you can have unlimited poses with this guy, and it works. It just works, ladies and gentlemen. It just works. Mwah. Yes. Some parts of the articulation I do want to speak about are the boots. So just like the yellow suit Daredevil, which I have spoken about previously, they use the same technology, as in this is a one-cut boot, so it looks extremely seamless. But, whoa, it can move. It can boogie. Now, it doesn't need to move too much, but it can if you want it to, which is really cool. Like I said earlier, I'm perfectly fine with split cuts. I'm perfectly fine with showing articulation. But when it works this well, and when it actually looks this clean, it just adds to the realism. But it also just adds to the premium vibes of the figure when, like, the science goes beyond human comprehension. It just adds to, well, I suppose the price point of the figure. Now, this figure has been on the bucket list of mine for a super long time. And not even just because of Deadpool and Wolverine, but like a Hot Toys Wolverine has been my go-to for such a long time. I have loved X-Men my entire life. I have loved Hugh Jackman's Wolverine my entire life. That either shows my age or shows how young I am, depending on my audience. I know I have some variants there, so thank you for that. Much love. I guess this is supposedly where I say to subscribe so you can keep seeing more of this shenanigan fun stuff. But anyway, back to ranting about Deadpool and Wolverine.
If you have seen this channel before, either in shorts or long form, either way, hello there, you will know that I absolutely adore Deadpool and Wolverine. It took my imagination and just absolutely ran with it. Seeing Deadpool and Wolverine finally together on the big screen absolutely made my life. Now, I work in a cinema. I've always loved cinema. It's one of my favourite things. And things like superhero movies really kicked that off for me, really started for me. Star Wars and superhero films really sent it, so that's why I kind of like collect, I suppose. It's to show my love for said things. And seeing figures like this, I don't want to say it makes me emotional because that's really cringe, but it's, dude, it's more of what I love. And when it's done so well, and when it looks so good, even in the most boring, actually terrible poses, oh, it just makes me giddy because it's just more of what I want. And what I want is Wolverine. Hugh Jackman's Wolverine is so iconic and it's so well loved. And he is such a well loved character because of Hugh Jackman's Wolverine. It's so nice to finally see a bit more of a merge between Logan in the comics and Logan in real life. It's so cool to see the yellow and blue, the astonishing suit, just a superhero suit that actually has colour and that pops. Now, I know a lot of people's opinions on Deadpool and Wolverine have changed. I know a lot of people's opinions on the actors have changed. I don't care about that. I love the film, I love the dudes, and this suit I adore, and I have watched way too many videos about how it's been constructed. I have like a playlist called Must Watch. There's videos on them in there. You can absolutely check that out if you wish. It's just random things I've compiled that I've found that I'm like, oh, that's pretty neat. And yeah, there's a lot of tested videos in there where they talk about the making of this suit, and I just think it's genius. It's not as pronounced as some people would have liked, but the fact that you've got the tiger stripes in there incorporated into the suit, you've got the yellow and blue, the red X really pops. And although we don't see it like this with the shoulder pads on and with the mask on, this is such just an iconic look. And the battle damage really helps sell this guy as a brawler. It really helps just sell this figure as a whole. And just that section right there is so cinematic. I love it to pieces. It's just, it gets the creative juices flowing, baby. and that was really creepy. I apologise. I've changed up the mouth plates for a bit of difference, and there's not much I can say other than that this is incredible. The grit in the teeth, like either snarling, screaming, or just his regular stoic mouth plate, they all scream Hugh Jackman, or they just scream Wolverine, and I love it. But I will say, I love the joke of, is Wolverine's face Wolverine or two Batman kissing? And from this angle, it does look like a Batman kissing. But one of the coolest angles in the film is when he's kind of like 3/4 and you get like the side profile. That's when this mask kind of looks best in live action. In figure format, it looks best, honestly, always, like everywhere, in every location. But in live action, the side profile is stunning. And yeah, this figure, oof. I dare say it, but it is a beautiful boy. You hear that? Previous editor Helens, Willis Makes Movies, Mr. Willus. It's a beautiful boy. I'm shaking, I'm so excited. So attempting to stretch out the articulation a bit to see how it can move. Its upper half, the arms, the body can crunch really nicely, bend really nicely. But outside of that, the legs are kind of stiff just because of all the padding and all the muscle in together. But you can get it to stretch out a little bit. And that's not too bad. And it looks quite natural, but from the lower half you've got to do a little bit extra. Even just in the most stoic generic poses, this thing is breathtaking to look at. This could by far easily be one of my favourite figures ever. Not even just of the year, this is up there. So to give it the best possible chance of articulation, I'm keeping the silicone arms on, but just keep in mind that the ones with the fabric will move a little bit less and it will fight you a little bit more. Now, to get once again, give it the best possible chance, take these off and let's boogie. So, very good up motion, very good down, and we get some good tilt. Now the neck can also move along with it. It's a separate piece, so you can get extra articulation from there if you help it move with you. Just remember to realign it. Now the arms, they are stunning, but because of the silicone, you've got to make it look at least natural if you want to, or you can just cover it up with the shoulder pads. Fully up to you. They go right nicely. Basically do a full 360. It's quite nice. Just try not to prickle yourself with the stabby end, because I've just done it there. Much more than 90 and a very natural bend. That's quite nice. And it doesn't fight you either. Just once again, this figure, it's all about aligning it. Make sure this is all in the right spot because it all jumbles about. Regular wrist pegs and all those pegs, not going to degrade those though, because I will break them. Body. Tell you what, move the arms so you see the body. A very crunch forward. You can get straight up anime run. Very good. Very good back. You can get a super scream. So that's cool. And a teeny bit of tilt. Now the legs. The legs are a little bit pitiful, but there is a lot of suit in the way. Yeah. That boy isn't moving those legs much, but if you... I don't want to say if you heated up the suit, it would move more. Or like if you could mess with the suit to make this move more. But to be perfectly honest, I'm perfectly fine with that. Leg bend quite good. But you probably won't need to be bending that much because of his legs won't move that much. And then basically it's all about the boots, baby. Yeah, you know I'm all about those boots. They move very nicely for being encased in plastic. I think it's PVC that it's made of. Overall though, the figure's articulation I quite like. Now I could not go a full video without comparing, you know, the whole point of the movie, Deadpool and Wolverine. Couldn't just be Wolverine in this video. And for this one, we are just using the the deluxe version, the original version of the Deadpool and Wolverine figure. But don't you worry, ladies and gentlemen. Well, one lady and many gentlemen, that is coming later. The Battling Deadpool is coming. He is in my bedroom right now. He is in the jar. We will have to get him out the jar for the video. Now this comparison will have to do, and I have to say these look stunning together. The colours pop so nicely. This is the only comparison you really need. I don't need to get out any other figure. This is all we're here for, baby. And just both of them together, I just adore. They're extremely similar size. The proportions, they look well together. Wolverine looks like an absolute monster compared to the terrified Deadpool, and that works perfectly for me. They're similar heights, so the figures are also similar in height. But if you wanted one of them to be taller than the other, let's say you wanted Logan to be smaller to fit your headcanon, try and stretch out his legs and keep Deadpool looking lanky, and it works wonderfully. Genuinely though, this is just a combo that I absolutely needed to see, not just in figure form, but in film form. The fact we actually got this in our lifetime with these actors together just makes me so happy. I genuinely thought Logan would be it. I thought potentially he could do some voices for like animated shows and stuff. I never thought we'd see him in live action again. So not only do we get more Hot Toys of the fella, incredible. Not only do we just get more than one film of this fella, incredible. We get Hot Toys figures and multiple films coming back of Hugh Jackman Wolverine. What? Lunacy. Lunacy, not on my 2023 to 2025 bingo card whatsoever. This is ridiculous. The fact he could be in Avengers films now, lunacy. The fact they both could. This was Fox's last hurrah in terms of the Fox Marvel universe, and they went out bloody swinging. I know Marvel basically made it, / they did, but holy moly, baby. And just to have this like immortalized in figure format makes me so happy. But although figures are cool and white backgrounds are cool, we can up this a little bit. So if you'll indulge me, before I send you away, let's take some pretty little photos. Now if you like this video, you could please like the video. If you want to see more, you can absolutely see more. There is so much more, and there is so much more to come. But no, this has been so fun. The Deadpool and Wolverine videos have been such a wild ride, and the figures are just getting better and better. So I'm so excited to keep showing more and more. So, much love, dudes. But before I go, let's look at some pretty photos of this absolute legend. Beautiful!
So I don't think anything can really prepare you for how much I love these figures. Now, putting them together, it's incredible. But I have now been shooting and taking photos for over 4 hours now. So I've split the record. Usually I shotgun the whole entire thing. Filming, photography, editing, the whole thing. I knew I would get a bit carried away. And yeah, I definitely did. I started the photography segment today at 10 in the morning. It is now nearly 3 PM. I am having a whale of a time, and I haven't even started editing, so God help me, but genuinely love this figure. I'd highly recommend pick this up, however, wherever you can. You've got to let me know what you've been doing with it, you've got to let me know if you've got it, but as a final little segment, this figure's incredible. It poses like a dream. You can stretch out the legs a little bit, that's what she said, but other than that, the legs are a bit stiff. I have zero problems with that though. He is stunning. This figure is stunning. He is so fun, and I can't wait to get him out again for the battling version of Deadpool, and then you are going to see a little bit more. But anyway, guys, much love. I know I've said that a few times already, but I filmed the review a very long time ago. The photography's taken me a very long time. I'm so glad it has, because it's been incredible. Anyway, I'll see you later. Bye-zy bye!